Everybody laughs right after that intro. I don't know if it's the line, but
It's definitely the line.
all right. Welcome everybody to episode 5 of a Blockbuster year. Tonight we're talking about the sci-fi classic Enemy Mine from 20th Century Fox. Jay, let's pop in the tape.
Oh, we're popping in
Oh,
the
I
tape
saw you
already.
getting up.
Why don't we? Why don't we pop in that tape? Oh shit! That's the wrong tape. That's the wrong tape. There were too many tapes. There's a lot of buttons for this new show, but I think we got it.
Yeah,
I think
we're
I'll mix
good.
up I don't know where to be. We'll figure out where all the boxes go. I'm in Los Angeles. Phil's in Los Angeles. Brandon's up there in Canada, so we're all over the place.
Yeah.
Hey, Brandon.
Hello, Phil. Welcome to a Blockbuster year. I'm very excited to have you on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, Phil Morris, legend of Seinfeld. Jackie Chiles, come on. Are you kidding me? We have Jackie Chiles on the show.
Yeah,
crazy.
that's some interesting
Incredible.
insights about the film that you guys chose. I think you'll appreciate it.
Oh, I cannot wait to hear your take on Enemy Mine. Before we get into it, though, I would like to talk to you a little bit about your work.
Please.
I guess, like, first and foremost, like, obviously, Seinfeld is the greatest television show of all time. It is still so incredibly funny to this day. And I think you should be praised for coming in so late into the run, right? Season 7, I believe, is when you came into the show.
Yeah,
And
I think so.
to have like such a standout, memorable, hilarious character in a show full of incredibly memorable and hilarious characters is something that I think you should be proud of. And honestly, like, Jackie Chiles is one of the standout characters in my mind.
Oh man, I appreciate that. I never hear that too much. I feel the same way. If you were to ask Jackie, he'd feel the same way. It's just, I mean, for an actor to find, and I'm sure you've heard, maybe you have or haven't, but to find a character that you can slip into literally the suit of so easily, that speaks to you, that resonates within you, and then everybody else resonates with it, and it falls into the zeitgeist, is just beyond. You can't plan that stuff. You just do it. And in just doing it with those crazy minds, the Larry Davids and the Jerry Seinfelds,
Yeah.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I mean, it's not hard, really, in my opinion, to come up with the goods if you're just listening and you're present and you're there and you get it, and you have any sort of facility. Something fun is gonna come out.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
I'm curious because I'll be honest, I haven't talked to a lot of people involved in Seinfeld, and I am a big Seinfeld fan. It's a very important show in my household. I'm curious how much of the characterization was on the page and how much of it was what you brought to it.
Well, they literally wanted a Johnny Cochran-esque character. That's what was in the breakdown. And I auditioned for this character along with Michael Boatman and Ted Lange and who else? Klingon, Worf, Michael Dorn.
Yeah.
So we were all there. I don't think anybody knew the voice of Jackie, right? But I did,
Yeah.
because I've been going to the same barbershop as Johnny Cochran for my whole life. I mean, honestly, literally, I sat at the foot of the man that they took it off of.
Yeah.
So I knew the rhythms, and I knew the ins and outs and the mm-hms and the thumpers. I knew all that. I've been hearing it for years. So all I had to do was kind of allow it to happen, throw in a little hustler, a little street corner preacher, and that was Jackie. But I don't think they saw it like that at all.
Yeah.
So I think it was revelation to them too.
Yeah, for me, it's the eyebrows. Jackie's eyebrows, very expressive. That it's incredible. Like it's so cool to get to ask you these questions. Very excited about it.
Thank you. Thank you. I
Before
love
we
it.
move on, though, I do have to talk to you about one more of a film that you worked on. Phil, you will never in your life meet a bigger Jingle All the Way fan. I'm wearing my booster shirt tonight.
It is.
He's like right here all the time by my TV.
Oh my gosh.
So I have been watching Jingle All the Way my entire life. It is my number one Christmas movie. It is always the movie that I'm dying to watch. I am such a fan of Brian Levant. His 1994 Flintstones, I will scream to high heavens, is the greatest production design on a film I've ever seen. But I just have to let you know that weatherman Gale Force lives in my brain. That moment where you guys click your papers is so it just lives inside my brain. I know it's not your line, but I always think of the fly, Turtleman, fly, use your jetpack. So I have to show some love and appreciation for Jingle All the Way because it is so iconic in my life.
That's a deep dive, and I appreciate your attempt. I really do. You get a 10 from the judges. Amy Peets was my erstwhile colleague in the booth, and we just had we had the best time.
Yeah.
I was on it for 6 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
We shot it on the Universal backlot right there, the New York Street.
Two blocks from me.
Yeah, the Wintertainment Parade took over that whole backlot because majority of the film was actually shot in Chicago, really in Chicago, and then the Wintertainment Parade they came back to L.A. and shot it all on the backstages there.
It was awesome. Arnold could have been better. He was a cool dude.
Oh yeah, Arnold, Sinbad,
Well, you saw how big the parade was.
Yes.
You guys don't know this about me. I'm a massive Sinbad fan.
Me too. Are you kidding me? First Kid?
I really am. Yeah, really am.
Oh yeah.
First Kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. And Phil Hartman.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Phil Hartman.
And that's the thing. Like the cast is fantastic. Jake Lloyd plays the son who went on to do Star Wars Episode 1. Why am I forgetting Tom Hanks? Rita Wilson. Rita Wilson, yes. Oh
no, so good. So we'll end with this. This is a great Brian Levant story since you love Brian Levant.
Please.
So Brian Levant and I know each other because I know his brother Andy Levant. We were both in an improv class with a guy named Harvey Lenbeck on the old Paramount commissary.
Yeah.
I lead with that to say I knew Brian when I went into the audition. Get the audition. I didn't get the audition because I was so good at Gale. So one day at lunch, an AD comes to me and he says, the director wants to see you. I'm like, I'm not even in shot. We haven't been shooting us at all. I'm way in the back. What the heck? So I go to the New York Street. They're bumping a volleyball on New York Street. And Brian looks at me because I live at the beach and I'm a volleyball player. He looks at me, he goes, I heard you have good hands. And he throws me the volleyball. And we're bumping the ball. The first AD, Brian Levant, myself, and another actor on New York Street. There's 1,000 extras watching us during lunch. And he and I became really fast friends. I played a ton of tournaments with him. We became really good buddies. Yeah. But that's why he hired me. He knew that I was a good volleyball player.
Wow. for breaks. Yeah.
See, sports comes in handy, Jay.
That's amazing. I was fortunate. All your stories. I've never heard that one.
I was very fortunate to get the chance to meet Brian Levant a few years ago at a film festival in Tucson, Arizona, and so I got to tell him how important his early '90s films are to me. So it's just so cool. I'm just checking off Jingle All the Way people on my list. So Sinbad's next, and then Arnold. I'll get to talk to them
because he's available.
Yeah. He's Arnold's busy with his animals, his donkey. All right, he's got plenty of time now.
There was a time when he was quite accessible. When his office, you probably know this, Phil. When his office was on whatever that is, Ocean Avenue or whatever in Santa Monica.
Yeah,
Main Street. It was on Main Street in Santa Monica.
Yeah, above Shotzi's. The best schnitzel I ever had. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we would see him there all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
The extra crispy.
Vixen, Comic Cupid, Donna Blitzen. Anyway.
Okay, wait. Come on, no. Last one. So Arnold had just done this movie. I think it was Eraser. I forget. But he's hanging out the side of an airplane. This is before Tom Cruise, right? He's hanging out the side of an airplane. And it's an amazing shot. Like, all of his movies were incredible, right? Big blockbusters. And I saw him doing an interview for CBS Morning News. And they're asking, Arnold, you're on the side of the plane. What was it like? He looks dead into the camera and says, it was windy.
Absolute legend. We are going to cover Arnold on the show. Commando came out in 1985, so we're going to be covering Commando.
Oh my gosh, I've never seen that one either, Brandon. That's the Get in the Chopper, right?
Kill you last. No, that's Predator.
God damn it! Every time I screw that up.
Yeah, Radon Chong, best Radon Chong movie.
Yeah. Anyway, the film we're talking about tonight is Enemy Mine.
Did we push the button already?
Yes.
Oh, we did. Okay.
The intro's done.
Can I say hi to there's a couple people. Renee says
course.
hi. Rachel Reeves says, "Woo, Seinfeld, very cool guest." We agree. Thank you very much, Phil, for doing it. I'm shutting up because this is Brandon's opportunity. I'm lucky enough to get to talk to Phil all the time. How's it going, A? Maybe somebody in Canada, right? Oh, no, he's Arizona. Bitter Troll says, loved this movie growing up. Wow, do we get to talk about that?
Yeah.
Brandon, I know you've got a big agenda as far as this movie goes, although we'll see. I just wanted to mention there was a really cool 80s movie-ish thing that happened to me personally this week,
yes,
and
please.
Phil
tell
happened to be a
story.
part of it.
Yes.
Do you care if I share that?
No,
Share it, please.
Tell this story.
It's beautiful.
My beautiful wife who's departed, I'm sorry I bring that up every stinking episode, but it's just, that's my life at 1 year.
Yes.
She used to work in comedy, and she was really big in comedy. She worked at the biggest PR firm in the business, and she was vice president of talent at that firm. Everybody knew her. She worked with everybody at some point in her career. She started as an assistant. She ended owning her own company that we owned together. I guess I'm saying all this because she really was around the best of the best. And at the end of the day, her favorite go-to comedy to, in the old days, just burn the stress off of her day, and then later in life to try to forget about the pain for 90 minutes, was Weekend at Bernie's, okay? And I stand by this decision. It's one of my favorites my entire life. I can't explain why this movie's so good. If you explain it to somebody, it sounds ridiculous because it is ridiculous. Except when you watch it, they commit to the bit so hard all the way to the end that it's like you can't take your eyes off this thing. It's one of those movies that in the old days when you flipped around the channels, if you saw it, I would watch it every single time. Nicole was the exact same way, and our friend Phil was doing a secret project we can't talk about, but one of his co-stars was indeed Terry Kaiser, the great Terry Kaiser, who I grew up loving as an actor, more famously known as Bernie.
Yeah.
Weekend at Bernie's. So, like months ago, he's telling me about this project, and I go, oh my gosh, I gotta go with you that day, holy cow. And then life happens, and then one day it's like, oh, that music video's today. And I go, oh, right, I'm supposed to go with Phil to this music video. Don't remember why. Didn't matter. I was going to support my buddy. He's doing the scene with the guy, the back of, it didn't matter, but I didn't know who he was with. And I go, who are you at? Who was the reverse in your thing? Because I didn't see the turnaround or whatever. And he goes, Terry Kaiser from Weekend at Bernie's. And I was like,
yeah.
Mind blow.
So yeah, all that to say, I just wanted to show a couple pictures here. This one is probably my favorite, but you know, this is the poster, and we sort of half kind of recreated it with this one here.
A little bit. He's alive.
So while they were working, I didn't want to bring up what I'm about to show you, but once Terry was wrapped for the day and he was done working and could lose his mind, from what he was being paid for. I did ask him with my phone on and my thing recording. I said, "Hey, can I tell you something on video?" And he said, "Absolutely." And I'd really like to share it with you now. Roll it, Hal.
You something on video?
Yes, please.
My wife Nicole was a big-time Hollywood publicist.
Right.
She worked with everybody from Chris Rock to Steve Carell, Will Ferrell, you name it. And she passed away last year from multiple sclerosis. 44. She'd been struggling with it for 14 years. But let me tell you something. Her favorite comedy of all time was Weekend at Bernie's, and she watched it many, many times when she was ill, and you brought us a lot of relief from your work. And I just wanted to say thank you so much. She loved you. She would love this moment that I got to meet you. She worked with everybody, and you were very special. So I just wanted to say thank you so much. Sorry to be emotional at the end, but...
No, me too. That means a lot to share that, with me.
You don't need to say anything. I just wanted you to know. It meant the world to us.
No.
Still does, forever.
And to share that like that, I mean, it's very heartwarming. I think one of the nicest compliments, that I get, that I have parents saying I turned my daughter onto it, I turned my son onto it and stuff like that. And they said, what you gave us, Terry, was an hour and a half where there was no age.
That's exactly it.
It was just joyous together for the first time. And for your wife to see that thing from me being from afar, it means a lot to me.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's very powerful.
Single tear.
Yeah, very emotional. Absolute classics. Weekend at Bernie's.
Truly.
And what a class act Bernie was.
Yeah.
Loved him.
For me, the dichotomy of his character is why that movie works too. They're committed to the bit, but also it's basically, call it 3 acts. The first act, Bernie's alive, and he's this deplorable character, right? He sucks. He really is an asshole. And then he dies, and the second and third act, the whole rest of the thing, he's like the most lovable, endearing dead body.
Yeah.
You're pulling for the whole time. Oh, Bernie. Love that movie. I came home and watched it that night. Couldn't not do it.
Of
That's
course.
wild. Of course.
Shout out to Terry Kaiser. By the way, Terry Kaiser, Phil, you and I were talking about it, saying, "Oh my goodness, he's done a lot of work over the years. How old is he?" He just had a birthday the other day. 86 years old.
Wow.
86.
Born in 39,
86.
Phil.
He did an episode of Mission Impossible, my dad's Mission Impossible. So that's in the 60s.
Yeah.
My guy's been doing it. He's been plying his trade for some time.
Yeah.
Very good at it.
It was Three's Company for me, and then immediately after that heartfelt moment, I broke the ice, broke the tension by saying, I go, and for me it was Friday the 13th, Part 7.
Yeah.
Part 7. The Doctor.
And then he told me some behind the scenes stories about that one too, which were pretty cool.
That's amazing. That's a very, very special moment for sure. I'm
Yeah.
glad you shared that.
What you're having with Phil right now is what I got to have with Bernie.
Yeah, it is special and it is exciting.
Dave Knight from Astoria says Commando for the win.
For the win.
Renee says Weekend at Bernie's is one of the best. I mean,
Yeah,
that's kind of
my wife.
undeniable.
That's my wife, Renee. We love Weekend at Bernie's.
Thanks for caring, Dave. By the way, if you're ever up in Astoria, visit the city jail, which is the Oregon Film Museum, and Dave runs it up there. He's the guy you talk to.
The curator.
He's one of those guys. He's high up somehow.
Yeah.
He's definitely
Curator.
he's the one who talks to everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's talk to everybody.
Well, with that, should we get into Enemy Mine? A little
Brandon,
bit of
take it away.
A little bit of production.
And it goes a little something like this.
Yeah, so Enemy Mine came out December 18th, 1985, obviously. It stars Dennis Quaid and Louis Gossett Jr. Dennis Quaid plays the human. Louis Gossett Jr. plays the Drac, the alien creature that we see. The most fascinating thing about this movie was its production, in my mind, because
I thought it was that it got made.
Well, in a way, essentially. So, Enemy Mine is it was originally produced as a novella through the Isaac Asimov science fiction magazine in 1979, which I did read it, by the way. So we can talk later about some of the differences between the published version and the film.
I do have one quick question, just because last week we told the audience that you and I had never seen this movie. Phil, had you ever seen this movie previously?
No, I had not.
Awesome. Awesome.
Oh,
Okay,
No,
cool.
that's great. Yeah, very very interesting. Hey, like,
I
I didn't know
love it.
what to expect.
I can't. It grew on me. It really did, because the early part of it, because we are now so techno heavy, the space sequences, which I think at the time might have been really right in pocket, right? They're dated, so I'm kind of like, okay, well, will this hold my interest? What do I hang my hat on
Mm.
in this movie? And to me, it's their performances. They
Yeah,
are riveting.
yeah,
And Louis Gossett Jr. is genius in it, and Dennis Quaid is no less genius in it, because he's such a his arc is phenomenal in
yeah,
this movie. So right away, these relationships just. I mean, am I watching a buddy comedy? Am I
yeah.
watching? You know what I mean? Is this a space buddy comedy? Is it?
That's
A weird
hilarious.
buddy
You're so funny.
comedy, kind of like
Yeah,
rom com. Like,
yeah.
there's
Is
there's
this
some
like
there's some different.
Brokeback Mountain in space? I mean,
Exactly.
where are we
Louis
going with
Gossett
this?
Jr. is like, I'm getting too old for this.
And what I meant about what I want to bring up is that wearing that makeup for an entire film, I don't care how long that shoot was, is something.
Yeah,
I have played many iterations of Star Trek. I played Klingons. I played Jem'Hadars. I played the most difficult head casting makeups you can have for 8 days.
yeah.
So to
And
do that for a
and
Phil,
movie,
he
did it
had
look like he had
appliances.
the eyes on too?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, so Louis Gossett Jr. has eyes. He's got the full prosthetic latex makeup, but he also has some appliances
teeth.
in his mouth.
Yeah.
I One of the things that I loved the most about the makeup was the weird sort of like little flap that vibrated.
yes,
There,
and on his
yeah,
ear,
here and here.
Yes. Yeah,
right.
the ear must have been some sort of like electronics kind of pumping, but the little piece that was kind of in his mouth, it almost like it just vibrated with his voice
His
and his
speech.
breath
Hmm.
or something, like some free movement. But
Hmm.
yeah, very very cool makeup, which actually leads to the initial sort of. So the novella comes out 1979, and then it ends up getting turned into the film that they're going to make in 1984, right? But it starts shooting in April of 1984 with a completely different director.
Whoa.
Not Wolfgang Petersen.
No, not Wolfgang Petersen.
Whoa.
So the original director was Richard. I got it in my notes. Lon Crane, and it was being shot in Budapest and Iceland. And essentially, the budget for the film at that point was $18 million. And 20th Century Fox started seeing these dailies, and they thought the alien doesn't look good. It looks cheap, like a 50s horror movie alien, and the 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 alien planet looks too much like Earth. So after
Ooh.
3 weeks of that production, it completely shut down,
Wow.
and Richard Long Crane was fired. But the Louis Gossett Jr. and Dennis Quaid were on pay-to-play contracts, which means, for those who don't know, essentially, if 20th Century Fox breaks the contract and says, "Okay, we're not making this movie," they have to pay Dennis Quaid and Louis Gossett Jr. anyway. At that time, there was a shift in 20th Century Fox. The production executives, there was a changeover, and they made the decision to bring on Wolfgang Petersen, fresh off of Neverending Story, the most tragic film of every child's life, and they brought him on, and he didn't want to do it because he thought it was Star Wars, and he didn't like Star Wars. He referred to it as initially he thought it was a shoot 'em up in space, and then he read the script and realized that it's more than that. So when they brought Wolfgang Petersen on, and we should actually quickly say Wolfgang Petersen, if people don't know, also made like Air Force One, you know, a film that every human on the planet has seen somehow, like just an incredibly, just an always on TV, a classic, iconic film, and like I'd mentioned, Neverending Story. So they brought him on, and he basically saw what had been shot before and said, I don't want to use any of it. And they restarted the whole film, completely redesigned Louis Gossett Jr.'s makeup, moved the production. Where did they?
Canary Islands.
Yes, Canary
Oh
Islands,
wow.
Yeah,
and
and
built some sets.
and a national park in Spain.
Yes,
Whoa.
and so
Yeah.
that whole process took 9 months. So the original film started April 1984, and then they didn't resume shooting for the film that we know today until December of that year. So 9 months, Dennis Quaid and Louis Gossett Jr. were just like hanging around, not
Getting
knowing,
paid.
yeah, getting paid, not knowing what was going on.
Wow.
Yeah, and
You
then
know, to be honest with you, in the business, it's not uncommon, but it is uncommon that you will pick the production up after
Exactly.
9 months and
Yeah.
finish it within a completely different set of visions.
and give the film more budget. So they gave them another where was I had it written down here, another $25 million to
Gee
to reshoot and finish the film, build the sets, change the makeup. So at the end of it, because they had spent the $9 million for the first 3 weeks, it ballooned to ultimately, with marketing and everything, costing about $40 million in total for a film that was initially budgeted at $18 million.
Oh
So
my goodness.
it has this like it. I mean, I enjoyed the movie, but I do
Okay.
think there is aspects of it, even considering that the special effects were done by Industrial Light and Magic,
Right.
the George Lucas company.
Right.
I do think that it looks cheap, which is surprising for the amount of money involved.
So the movie was very much this for me,
Yeah.
but one of the things I liked was the rather cheesy homegrown somebody did it in a studio special effects kind of thing.
Yeah.
I like
And-
Phil was talking about how it didn't really hold up for the time. I totally agree with that. It would sort of look more like Buck Rogers TV than
I
Star
wrote down
Wars even,
Flash
which was
Gordon.
Yeah,
7 years
Gordon.
prior.
Yeah, very
That's-
Flash Gordon.
Yes, that and I always think about I don't remember who says it. I should find out, but there is a quote when they were talking about making Star Wars. Their biggest fear about Star Wars was that it was going to look like Flash Gordon, right? Like the little spaceships with rockets
Yeah.
on strings,
Or sticks,
yeah.
Yeah, right.
right?
So who was
Well,
it? George
that's-
Lucas
that-
who didn't want that, or was it like John Dykstra from the effects company?
No. I believe it was representatives at 20th Century Fox.
Oh,
didn't want it
gotcha.
to look like that.
Because in 1977 or 76, I guess, when they were
Or Star Wars.
doing everything, nothing like Star Wars had.
Gotcha.
come out.
But whatever executive gave that note had no idea what was in George
Exactly.
Lucas's head. Okay, gotcha.
Exactly. And George Lucas put that whole team together to do the effects for the first Star Wars,
Right.
thus creating Industrial Light and Magic, or
I like-
ILM as it's known.
Right.
I love that
And,
documentary with a passion.
Oh my goodness, Light and Magic on Disney Plus. If anybody
Incredible.
is into behind the scenes special effects film history, there's 2 seasons of it now. It is mind blowing. Just even just the people that like come out of that first couple of years of Industrial Light and Magic and then go on to do their own thing. Namely, Joe Johnson, the director of Jurassic Park 3, and so
I think of
yeah,
Joe Edlin, who went on to do Boss Films for Ghostbusters and so on.
Oh yes, of course, yes.
But
Well,
anyway,
so since we're talking about how the effects were dated and cheapesque, that highlights more to me if the movie is any good at all, if it holds up at all, it's as a result of these performances.
Yeah,
Because they beat the stigma of the lack of professional nuance of the technology,
yeah,
which hadn't been seen. Star Wars changed everybody's game.
yeah.
And not everybody could measure up to that, and they tried. Battlestar Galactica tried. A lot of people tried, but it didn't really work. But what I loved about the movie was that I could lose myself in these two beings,
Hmm.
Yeah.
you know,
That's
and
what the
there's
movie
such a
was.
great social conscious statement being made with the Drax being one gender,
Yes.
and them explaining, how infantile humans are because we've broken our species up into two genders
Yeah.
because for the reason of love,
Yeah.
and that could be problematic.
Yeah. Well, and not to skip too far ahead, but when it came to marketing the film, that was the hardest part about marketing it because they didn't know how to not sell it as Star Wars or Star Trek, right? Like you even the poster is like so sci-fi heavy and the title Enemy Mine, it
Yeah.
just doesn't like make a lot of sense and
The bigger story is that, right? The bigger story is a Star Wars type story, or not Star Wars, maybe Star Trek. But this species
Galactic.
fighting this species. That's the big one. But our movie is so hyper focused, zoomed in on these two beings, like Phil was
yeah.
saying.
Yeah, for
Who?
sure.
Yeah, it's the marketing department doesn't want to talk about that. All of a sudden, we made it an art film.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a morality play as
Right.
opposed to it being a
And some of the
galactic,
things they cover
intergalactic.
are very important in morality. We'll get to that. Yes.
Yes. Um, yeah, I think that basically covers like production. I will say like the creature effects and the makeup, those are standout. Like I don't know how you guys watched it, but it's on Disney Plus in Canada, so I didn't watch my VHS, and maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe I should have watched it on VHS because the effects maybe would have looked a little bit more realistic. But watching it in 1080p high definition, I didn't know it was just more like there was like an elevator shot later in the film when David is saved and like
Once
it
they're
just
on the
looks so
ship.
flat. Yeah, they're as he's going down the elevator, all of the different floors, they just looked like weird flat screens. And I think it's more about lighting and color choices of space and the ships. I think that sort of leads it into that Flash Gordon type,
Yeah, yeah,
as
yeah.
opposed to Star Wars. Part of its success is that like it was just like a black starry sky, no purple clouds, no it feels like our world. It's dirty, it's grimy, but it is sci-fi. So I just think there was like something about the color and the lighting that also aged the space technology as well.
There's
Yeah,
no
but
doubt.
it all felt like a choice to me. It surprised me when you told me how many hands were involved in this and how many cooks were in the kitchen. It felt like a choice because even though everything we're mentioning were just a little bit wonky for the time period, they did all align throughout the movie. If that
Truly.
makes sense, almost like it was trying to be like a period sci-fi, like a Flash Gordon, like they were employing old effects. Is there anything to that? I don't know much about the production.
That is a good point because I mean when Wolfgang Petersen comes in, it's his film, and if that's the direction he wants to go, those are the decisions he's going to make. So if he wants it to appear very sci-fi, almost to like get it out of the way, like get the sci-fi, like yeah, it's a sci-fi movie. We're in space. There's battles.
Lasers. Yeah,
There's
going
lasers.
off.
We,
Pew,
we
pew.
we get it, and then it's
Got
like
that.
okay, we're on the planet now. Now the story starts. This is
Well,
what it's
that's a really
about.
good point because what mitigates the technology is the landscape. Because the landscape is truly extraterrestrial. If they thought
Yes.
that Iceland looked too much like Earth, this did not. The only reason I know it was Canary Islands because I had to go and like, well, where the hell was that's not Elm Tree Studios.
Yeah,
That's a real location. And where did they find that location?
yeah,
I've shot
Yeah.
all over. I've shot in New Zealand. I've shot in Australia. I've shot in Europe. I didn't know where that was. So
Yeah.
that was really, to me, maybe Peterson was like, look, we got the guys, we got the characters, and we have the setting. And that's what I need to tell this story. And that's where most of it lived.
Yeah.
Even when Dawich goes walkabout and finds the scavengers,
Yeah.
That walk, I'm like, what is that, matte painting or is that actual? I
I
couldn't.
Yeah,
did that constantly. I
it looks
constantly was
like
trying to figure out.
actual Mars. Yeah, you're like, where on earth is that?
Right, exactly. I had to look it up. Thank you, Google. Whatever.
I do know that the Green Lake was a set though. They did build that because
Mm.
that was really impactful for me
Me
because I was
too.
like, how like that water is really nicely green. That is
Mm.
so it's kind of like it's almost like a trope, like change the color of the water or change the color of the
Right,
trees,
right,
but
right,
but it
right.
but it works. Like it's a cool image, this green water, and he goes swimming in it.
Yep. And I thought the threats were relatively Barney Collier, my guy.
Sorry,
Um,
Rob, don't work. Just complimenting
That
more Phil's work.
thank you, brother.
that is my father-in-law.
I love that.
Awesome.
Yeah,
But I thought that the dilemmas, I felt them. I felt the meteor showers
yeah,
as amateurish as they might have looked. I thought, you got to find safety. Get under
yeah,
those turtle shells, and
yeah,
and everything that I thought was they wanted us to feel threatened by. I was threatened by.
Hmm.
I was worried for them,
yeah.
and that's good.
The meteor showers is one of the first deviations from the source material. There is no meteor showers in the original story whatsoever.
Hmm.
In fact, I mean, we can start talking about the plot now. The film opens up with a space battle, right? We have to show that the humans and the Drax are fighting,
Right.
but we don't see a Drac until he finds Jerry or Jariba at this point on the planet, right? There's no insert shots
Well,
of.
he says he's never seen one.
Oh, okay, yes, okay. So yeah,
It was jarring the first time I saw him. So you are correct, Brandon.
yeah, okay. So we have this space battle. They get too close into the atmosphere, and they both crash separately. We follow Dennis Quaid, Willis Davidge, and he sees the smoke of the other crashed
Way off in the
spacecraft
distance,
and
right.
starts heading that direction to kill the Drac. Like that's you brought me down. You killed my second mate, or
He
first
even
mate.
says, "Oh, I hope he's still alive," because he
Yes,
intends to kill
yeah.
him.
And all of this is just to build the vitriol, the hate between
Between the two
humans
sides, yes.
and
That's the
alien.
enemy of the enemy mind. Yeah.
Exactly,
Yes,
exactly.
exactly.
And Dennis Quaid, Davidge, ends up finding Jariba the Drac. It sounds so funny to say out loud.
You
Finds
call him
him.
Jerry. I think he'd want you to call him Jerry.
Yes, he would. Yes. Later in the film, he is referred to as Jerry, which I absolutely loved.
Loved it.
And that's from the source material. That is what
Oh, really?
Davidge in the original novella calls him later on. He starts to call him Jerry. So David finds Jerry kind of tucked down in this I don't know what you call it, like a
lagoonish.
like a lagoon, yeah,
Yeah.
a cavernous lagoon,
Mhm.
with his ship. And along on the way, he finds, I guess, the rest of Jerry's crash ship and notices that it's leaking fuel. So when he sees Jerry, he watches him for a bit. Oh, and he loses his gun. He has a gun. He's just gonna kill Jerry, right? He hates.
It
he
was
hates
gonna be
the
a
Dra-
really
And
simple
the
task,
gun
yeah.
was so not futuristic.
Totally. which which again might be a choice because the Jerry's gun is insanely futuristic.
It looks
Jerry's
like Men
gun
in Black.
is the weirdest gun I've ever seen, paired with Dennis Quaid's gun being it's like a literal handgun. It was like
A
chrome-
Luger. He's like
yes, it was like a chrome little handgun. So he drops it in the water. He has to figure out another way to kill Jerry, and he notices Jerry is in the water, so he goes back. He gets the fuel, lights the lagoon on fire. Jerry comes out of the water, and that was a very cool shot, by the way.
Very.
With all the fire, and then
Mhm.
just Louis Gossett Jr. in that full Drac makeup coming out of the water, like Apocalypse Now.
I knew that
Um,
green palm was real because they clearly really lit whatever was in it on fire.
Yeah.
There was no effect
Yeah.
like that good back then.
Nope.
It was really cool to watch because it lit the whole
1985,
setup too.
baby.
You know, it was really cool.
Yeah. And then they have their first sort of interaction after
Well,
that.
because Dowich is starving.
Yes.
He
Yeah,
needs
but
food.
he gets electrocuted on the deal, right?
Right,
Yes, he first goes to steal the green Jello balls,
Right.
and then gets electrocuted, and that's when we see Jerry's gun. They have their first interaction. We see them fight. They hate each other. Jerry's gonna kill him, and then this meteor shower happens, and they
Hang
both
on.
need to.
Right,
Okay.
right before the meteor shower is when Jay finally realized that that Jerry is Louis Gossett Jr.
Oh,
You're like, where's Lou? When does Lou come into the
I really
museum?
was waiting for because I love Louis Gossett Jr. So I was a little disappointed at this point, but I went with it. Go on.
and that's when the first meteor shower happens, and they both need to save their own lives, and they jump in the cave.
Yeah.
And that is kind of what sets us off on the journey that this movie takes us on, because in that moment they realize we need to help each other to
Yeah.
stay alive.
Right.
Either we kill each other and then the other one just dies, or we come
Figure
to
it
terms
out.
with our situation and figure it out, right?
Yeah.
And that sets us on a path of just like friendship. Like it really turns into like this buddy comedy, and they have to like learn to love each other and come to terms.
Another thing I love about movies of this era is that Splash comes to mind. The mermaid learns English by watching television for an afternoon. So like Louis Gossett Jr., all of a sudden, they can't communicate, and that's going to be a problem. But all of a sudden, thank God, they figure it out real quick, and now they're just speaking English, and we're all good.
But I'm glad that they both learn it because Davidge says, and I learned Drac and is saying certain words. I love that he attempted. It's like being in France, in Paris, and you attempt a little bit of French, they love you. If you don't attempt any French,
The respect.
they'll
I
spit
was
in
going
your
to say the
face.
dumb human learning that at the end is actually probably the most beautiful part of the movie. But in the beginning, just for them to
true,
be able to
true.
communicate.
Well, you knew that would either he would have to, he being Jerry, they being Jerry, would have to have
point.
Good
point.
Okay,
trying to be so correct.
I'll clarify this. In
Um,
the book, the novella, it's it. It's
Oh.
always it
Got it.
when referring to Jariba.
Got it. That won't fly in this day and age. So I will work with they, just so I don't offend any its. But what I was going to say is either they would have had to have some sort of language communicator, as all these sci-fi movies do. We have, well, they can speak our language, but we can never speak, reptilian or rapscallion or whatever. But I kind of like the build. I really did. I love the build. And I really did love the song that Drac sang to Davidge and how moved he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Louis Gossett Jr. also does a very unique voice, which apparently is a thing that he just did practically, like with like saliva in the back of his throat. It's just a thing that he could do since he was a kid, and he used it for this character.
I thought it was brilliant, Jay. I don't know how you thought about it, but he never broke. I never found him overdoing or underdoing. Even his laughter was in character. It was such a beautiful character choice.
Yeah. So at this point in the story, they have realized that they need each other to survive, and they start trekking into the woods. David builds a house for the two of them, and then it falls over, and they're kind of
Not
arguing.
sturdy.
And I do really like Dennis Quaid's he's playing like the brash, like, what do you mean, like, yeah, no, it's sturdy, like he's overconfident, he's he's a guy, right? Like he's just an overconfident guy.
These days, it would be the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy, whose name I can't think of.
Star Lord.
All right, Chris Pratt.
Chris
Yeah.
Pratt. Yeah, these days it would be like a Chris Pratt kind of character.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. And that is like a 3-year period. It doesn't really specify the time. I believe there's a voiceover. Something
They do
about
at the
3
end.
years.
Yeah, it's 3 years. The guy comes
Yeah.
in, he goes, 3 years. My God,
Right.
where's he been?
Yeah.
Right.
So I imagine that us seeing them learning each other's languages sped up. They have that fantastic moment where David insults Jariba's like religion, and then Jariba insults David's
Mickey
religion
Mouse.
by referring him to to Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which then
And then
later,
If at first you don't
They- and
succeed,
they-
try again.
Yeah, and then they apologize to each other.
Yes.
And I'm sorry for insulting.
Yes.
So that was one of my
Mouse.
favorite
It
moments.
was like great.
Yeah.
You
and
know?
and in that I think is kind of the biggest moment that reflects their change in character is David goes out exploring and ends up falling in this pit, and in the pit there's this really cool creature that has like
loved
this
it. I
that
loved
tentacle
it.
arm that comes out first, wraps around, and then it has this like huge mouth head that comes out
It's
of
like
this
a
pit.
maw.
Yeah.
It was
And
cool how they
that-
did that. It was cool how they did that because, like, we saw the turtle thing get eaten first, so we,
Yes.
the audience, knew what this pit was, but he
Yes.
was falling in it for the first time, and
Yeah.
like the whole what the hell of it all, I thought Quaid did pretty well with that.
Yeah,
and
very
and
well.
It's a big moment because David is screaming out. His leg is essentially getting ripped off. He's about to die, and who comes to save him is Jerry, and
Yeah.
that is kind of what turns everything.
Jerry was sleeping, and Dennis Quaid like started calling out for Jerry,
Yeah.
help me, Jerry, help me,
Yeah.
which seemed somewhat out of character for Quaid. It felt like a growth moment for both of them.
But we don't really know how long they had been together at that point, right?
Yeah, I guess.
This could be
it's just-
a month. This could be 2 months, right?
Yeah, you're right. He was so grateful. He was so grateful that that Jerry had saved his life.
Yeah, and then they go in and they find their first cave, and that's when they start really learning each other's histories,
Legacy.
their legacy, right? I think this is where Jerry's like Bible, for lack of a better term, his like holy text.
His Tallman.
Tallman, that's right. Yes, his Tallman comes into play, and he as like a symbol of acceptance, and he gives it to David to teach
So good.
him the philosophies of the Drac, the draconian planet.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like a
and it's
grasshopper moment.
a little bit, a little Master Poe, snatched the pebble from my hand, kind of a thing. But
Yes.
what I loved about that, it was kind of funny because the voiceover then says, he goes through his mom and his dad and his grandparents, and the Drac goes through 107 years of legacy. It was like he knows everything for 107 years. He knows.
Yes,
we know
because
like my great grandparents. That's it.
the Dracs have 5 names. They have 5 names that they always name their child the next name in the order,
In the
and then
line.
it starts over again. So they can go back through all of their legacy, their parents, grandparents, great grandparents, because I believe it's their name and then the name of their parent before. So Jerry's actual name is Jariba Shigan.
Yeah, you're right.
Jariba Shigan.
What's his
Which-
address?
Yeah, I didn't catch that. I did catch, however, actually, that the movie, I should have said this at the top, 2092. That's when the movie
Yep.
starts. The battle is 2092, and over the course of 3 years,
Yeah.
it goes to 2095.
Yep.
So the future's coming. And then at this point, we have David going and exploring, and this is where he finds that incredibly iconic Pepsi can, which I'm obsessed with. I need one of these weird
Futuristic Pepsi can.
futuristic ball.
I thought the same
Pepsi
thing. The way
cans.
that the Pepsi Perfect can, it's like another version of
Yes,
that.
exactly. A 2093 Pepsi can,
Exactly.
and
I
that
was so happy when he found that civilization. I was like, oh my gosh!
yeah.
It's just. Yeah.
And then we find out that the civilization is actually these scavengers who use the Dracone species as
As
slave
slaves.
labor, right? And and David is he knows who they are. He knows that they're scavengers on this planet, and now he has to kind of come back and either like he has to either share that with Jerry or not share that information because it's potentially it's potentially saving him, but there is no way based on how much the humans hate Drax. There's no way that he's going to be able to save Jerry from that life that the scavengers would take Jerry away. And then we have the probably the next biggest plot point in this movie. It's revealed that the Drax are self-reproducing, and Jerry is pregnant.
He's laying on the ground. We don't. Hey, what's the matter, Maddie? Oh, nothing. I'm just pregnant.
Yes,
Morning sickness.
he's with child.
You have any pickles? Get any pickles?
Yeah,
That's what those were. The green
This movie
balls.
just
yeah,
kept on
they were,
giving.
yeah, they were pickles. Yeah, they're pickle balls.
Hilarious.
And in that moment, Jerry kind of expresses that he wants to, take his child in front of the Draconian Council. That's his big dream. And then, sadly, we lose Jerry. Right? Jerry dies.
On that, you're going to lose me for a second because if I don't plug in my Mac, I'm going to lose you. So let me go get my power. Carry on. So sorry.
For sure, no problem. We lose Jerry at this point.
That bummed me out because one of the reasons I was happy to watch this movie was because of Louis Gossett Jr. And then there already wasn't the Louis Gossett Jr. I wanted, and then all of a sudden there wasn't any Louis Gossett Jr.
Yeah. Well, did you watch Jaws 3? Because you could relive some Dennis Quaid, Louis Gossett Jr. together in Jaws 3.
Absolutely. One of Nicole's
certainly
favorites.
did.
That was probably
okay,
her favorite. That's her favorite. That was Nicole's favorite Jaws movie, but Nicole's favorite Christmas movie, as I told you previously, was indeed Jaws 4.
Yes, I did rewatch Jaws 3 in preparation for this episode because I wanted more Louis Gossett Jr.
More Louis Gossett and Dennis Quaid action, yeah. And now
then
you want to talk about a movie with not so great effects.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god! It has been a long time since I've watched Jaws 3, and I have a like a Blu-ray pack of it.
Yeah.
So I had never seen it in high definition, and it was laughable.
I was laughing when I saw it in high definition, but now there's a 4K release which I'm gonna watch soon, and I haven't yet. Can't imagine that scene with the shark swimming towards the window with the. Can't even imagine.
Yes, I know.
Is this Jaws, the original?
No, we love Jaws 1.
Dennis Quaid and Louis Gossett Jr. are in Jaws 3 together.
That's 3D. Is that 3D?
Jaws 3D.
Yeah, that's with Mario Van Peebles. No, it's great. It's a great
No, it's
movie.
not. That's 4.
No, it's not.
Oh, that's 4?
Yes. Because that's Nicole's
less.
favorite Christmas movie. But since we're talking about these, I got to give a shout out to my one of the awesomest people in the world, Jeannot Zwark, who directed Jaws 2.
Yes, Jaws 2 rules. So obviously it's the year of Jaws, right? 50th anniversary.
Right.
So when I realized that Louis Gossett Jr. and Dennis Quaid were in Jaws 3D together, I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch all Jaws again. So I did watch Jaws 2 again for the first time in a long time. Absolutely loved it. It was way better than I remembered it being. But yeah, this one is not great.
So just for to help, because I haven't seen Jaws 3 in many, many years. It's the one I know the least.
Yeah.
Aren't they at SeaWorld?
Yes, with Leah Thompson.
But aren't they at SeaWorld in Florida?
Yes.
Isn't it landlocked? Isn't it in Orlando?
they explain that with some like channel ways that the
Yeah.
dolphins do,
Yeah. Yeah.
and the shark
I
sneaks
remember
in
that.
and then gets stuck. It gets stuck in this like filtration system, and there's like a smaller shark that they think is terrorizing, and they catch that and they put it on display, and then they actually like reset uh the the filtration system, and then the big 35-foot jaws shark
All of a sudden, the
comes
one
into
in
play.
Bermuda makes perfect sense. It's totally
Yeah.
plausible.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, that was our sidebar while you were getting your computer
Thank
set
you.
up.
I
Just-
appreciate that. Yeah.
You know, Jeannot's an old friend of mine. Did he direct anything in 1985? Because he did some wonderful films that aren't Jaws 2, like Somewhere in Time and Supergirl.
no, you know what? Not off the top of my head, but that is
Okay,
worth.
we'll figure that out.
into.
He'd be a great
Yeah.
guest.
Yeah, for sure.
Meanwhile, let's talk to this guest.
Yeah.
He directed a bunch of Smallvilles when I was up doing Smallville. Janot's work.
Hey, I was
Yes,
actually
that's exactly
speaking
right.
of that. Did you come up to Canada and shoot Smallville?
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
so that's
I'm coming back up to shoot Fire Country.
okay. That's kind of where I'm from. I live about an hour outside Vancouver, and
Beautiful.
they shot some Smallville out in our farmlands where I'm from.
The Burnaby? Where's that?
Yeah, Burnaby's about 40 minutes away from me.
Oh yeah.
That's where Michael J. Fox is from.
Originally,
Originally
I love it up there.
Burnaby.
Love
How
it.
far are you from
Olympia.
Kelowna?
A couple of hours.
A couple hours. Okay.
That's further east. So I'm about 3 hours away from Kelowna, and then from Vancouver, Kelowna is 5 hours away.
Gotcha. This is people are in agreement on Jaws 3D.
But
They all-
to finish
Classic.
my thought on Jaws 3D, I watched the Blu-ray, and when sometimes when a movie ends, it takes you to the special features.
Yeah.
And there was a special feature that said Jaws 3D, and I clicked on it, and my TV was like, "Your TV's not 3D compatible." Well, I have a 3D TV in my other room, and I didn't even know that I owned a updated 3D version of Jaws 3D.
Oh boy.
So I'm gonna have to watch it again just to experience it in true
Yeah.
3D.
My
But I
favorite
digress.
3D will always be Friday the 13th. There
Brandon,
were so
you
many
go the
good
extra mile. You go the extra mile. Bro. I love it.
It's an obsession.
I should show you my room with my 20,000 comics, so I get it.
Yeah. Once you find something you really enjoy collecting, it just you can't stop. And mine is movies. Like I buy a lot of movies. Love collecting movies. Where were we? Oh yes.
Oh.
we lose Jerry.
Jerry dies.
The baby is born and Jerry passes away.
We lose
And-
Jerry and momentarily Jay too for a minute because I was
Yeah.
like, "What are we doing?"
Yeah. You know, like it. Yeah, it is tough because now you have this other part of the story. But
It was just a
From
crazy way to crash into a third act. I get what they were doing, but when I didn't know it was happening or how it
Yeah.
turned out, I was like, "Oh my god, you've got!" It was like soap opera rules. Like, and
Yeah.
then he had a baby.
Yeah,
died, and his twin brother came in.
yeah, I knew that
Exactly.
I knew that the baby and the child was the last part of the story, but I didn't know that Jerry died.
Gotcha.
I thought it was like I thought it was going to be like a family movie.
2 men and a baby.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Well,
A man, a drac, and a baby.
and a baby. I knew Jerry's going to die. So I did see this movie at some point, but I didn't recall the last third of it.
Yeah.
And ultimately, here's what I kind of liked about before Jerry died. Because before Dennis Quaid asked, "What am I going to do?" I'm like, "What is he going to do with this baby?" And then Dennis Quaid goes, "What am I going to do? You taught me all about everything, but you didn't teach me about this. What am I supposed to do about this?"
Yeah.
And I found that to be actually completely credible,
Yeah.
quite frankly. And because I had that concern too. It's like, dude, what is Dennis going to do? What's David's going to do? And how they handled it, I thought was pretty good.
Yeah. Moving along, just because we'll finish this plot and then we can talk about it some more. But Zamus grows up faster than a human being, right? He grows quite quickly. Davidge teaches him everything that he knows about the draconian philosophies, and Zamis, the child, is asking questions about, why do I look different? Why do I have 3 fingers and you have 5 fingers? And I think Davidge does like a good job at kind of like explaining things to him on like a level that he can understand. And then we see a ship. They both see a ship flying, and Dennis Quaid goes to check it out, and that's the first time we see other human beings. We see the scavengers, and we see this enslaved Drax doing the mining work. Actually, before I forget, one of the biggest differences between the novella and the movie is the inclusion of the mine in general.
Oh, you
And
mean
that-
Temple of Doom on Mars?
Yes, and which we'll get to, but that was a studio note because they didn't think that people would understand the possessive enemy mine like my enemy. They thought people would be thinking about it too literally, so they made them put this mine storyline into the film. That
That's
doesn't
hilarious.
exist at all in the novella.
That's
In the
hilarious.
novella, the humans just find them on the planet. They just happen to come across Davidge and Zamis while they're out finding a new place to live. The human beings find them, but
Without
in
the
film,
unnecessary complication.
yes. But in the film, Davidge tells Zamis, "Don't go out there. There's bad people," and Zamis does. He wants to see other people that look like him. He's drawn to go and find the other draconian species, thus leading him to be found by these 2 human scavengers, and he gets taken. He gets kidnapped, and then Davidge has to go and save him, and ends up getting shot. It's like I did not expect that to happen. I was like, how are they gonna, like, he's bleeding out of his chest? Like how are they going to explain this? Well, then he wakes up on a human spaceship, right? And the first thing he does is ask where Zamis is, and they don't know. So Davidge steals a spaceship, and he heads back down to the planet, and that is what Jay had alluded to, is the space Temple of Doom, because
Well,
it feels very much like Temple of
The
Doom.
production designer may have been the same. We'd have to look at that. But for me, it just felt, this was when I realized one of my earlier notes from when it first started was indeed coming true. And I go, oh, it's Dances with Wolves. Oh, the whole thing is sort of a Dances with Wolves sort of deal.
Yeah.
Especially
and-
when he comes back with the humans and he's like, oh, guess what? They're right. You suck.
Yeah. He has that like incognito look. He's wearing like the jacket with the hat.
Yeah, but before
Marty.
that, when he's on the ship, after he's been like Tin Man gussied up and stuff, he looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he looks like a male model again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
gotta
right.
shave.
You do forget what Dennis Quaid looks like.
Yeah,
Because
he
throughout
was
the
so
entirety
gruffy
of the movie.
before.
Yeah, he's got this big beard.
Yeah, he's
Which
Tom Hanks in Castaway, and then he shows up as Dennis Quaid, looking like Dennis Quaid in the Dennis Quaid years.
I couldn't determine if it was real facial hair or if it was fake. I was going back and forth
That's
throughout the
applied.
whole movie.
Yeah, it always
Trust
looked
an
fake to
expert.
me.
That was applied.
Yeah,
that was all
okay.
applied. Wigs
Yeah.
and everything
Yeah, it just sits very straight
on top. Yeah.
Yes, like the netting and just okay, that makes sense.
Uh-huh.
So Dennis Quaid is hot again, and he goes back down to save his boy.
It's for the audience.
Yeah, it's simple. It's a visual marker. They understand that, and he finds Zamis locked up in a cage, and he saves him, and and just brings him to his planet, right? Like it wraps up so fast,
So quickly.
so quickly from the time that he is shot, brought back up to the spaceship, brought back to health, steals his own ship or steals another ship to go back down to fight the people in the mine. It just is like bing bang bing boom
It
and
felt
done.
it felt very unfinished because all of a sudden, you're right, the movie ends and then we're looking at space and then you hear for the first time in the movie narration.
Yeah. And
We're like, and then he got his name on the wall or whatever. And I'm like, wait a
And the matte
second. In the
painting.
beginning, he was telling his story, and then we watched him tell his story.
Now we have a whole narrator.
Who the hell's this
Totally
guy? Yeah.
disassociated, yeah.
it was like the weirdest, most like still almost looking unfinished matte painting I had seen. Yeah.
You mean on Drax on the planet?
Yeah, on the planet. The very last shot was like a wide shot of like a crowd of Dracs all at some sort of religious ceremony, and with this voiceover, like we don't even get to see an insert, a close up of like Zamis and Davidge like looking at each other or anything. Like there's nothing. It feels very unfinished.
I was waiting for the shot where we're on Quaid and he's reciting the legacy, because that's what he had to do, right?
Yes.
In order to introduce Zamis to the culture, he has to go and recite all the legacy, which is why
Not enough money.
Yeah.
Not enough money.
Well,
No,
let me briefly tell you how the
what?
how the novella ends, because I think the novella ending is actually very cool, and they had to shoehorn in this mine storyline because the studio wanted it.
But there was even like when the kid's in his arms, it even felt like Short Round. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, totally. Oh my! Even
and then when the guy, I wrote this down. One of the best deaths in that scene was when the guy falls down into in India. It was the rock crusher, but in this it was a spiral thing, and they
I wrote it down too. I wrote it down too. Loved the guy getting crushed.
Killer horror death. Killer horror death.
One of the great bad guys of all time in Blade Runner, Brian.
Yes.
Yeah. If I should have had the actor's name.
He's also in Fifth Element. That guy is an amazing actor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The actor we're referring to is probably most famous for Blade Runner. He's in the first interrogation scene with Harrison Ford. And he's I guess it's the first replicant we see.
It's the first replicant we see.
You see get
when
killed.
the movie
right?
opens. Yep.
Yeah.
It's a great device. Well, I guess you're going to talk about it maybe, but it's a great device because they ask him all the questions up to the point where he can no longer answer because he doesn't have a mother.
Yes.
It's very interesting.
Yeah. Lots of analysis with Blade Runner, and we'll do it when we cover a blockbuster year, 1982.
I don't know if this is good news or bad news, but Dave Knight pointed out that Jeannot did indeed direct Santa Claus in '85.
Thank you, Dave. And we probably will cover that movie closer to Christmas time. Yeah,
even Renee points out that they hit their budget limit at the end.
Yeah, 40 million didn't go as far as they thought.
So in the novella, the war is over. And so they come to the planet and they just find Davidge and Zamis, right?
Because it's peaceful times.
Yes. Basically everything between Jerry and Davidge through the course of the film is very, very close in the original text. But in the ending of it, they find Zamis and Davidge, and Davidge like passes out and gets brought back to Earth, and he's wondering where Zamis is. He's informed that Zamis has been returned to Dracone, his home planet, and so because there is peace times now, humans can apply to go and visit the Draconian planet. And there's a whole bit where he talks about how difficult it was for a human being to actually get permission to go and visit the planet. He had to pay his way, bribe some people.
Oh, modern immigration issues. I get it. Awesome.
Yeah, tourist visa, exactly.
Exactly. And that's obviously all of the stuff that the author, Barry Longyear, who actually, now that I'm saying that, I don't think we said that at the beginning of the show, but so the novella is written by Barry Longyear, and uh, and that's obviously all the stuff that he's kind of referring to in a sci-fi way. When Davidge gets to the planet, he goes and he finds Jariba's lineage, his family, and tells them, uh, or asks them, "Where's Zamis? I want to see Zamis," and they know nothing of this. And so or sorry, not Jerry, Davidge starts investigating on the Draconian planet where Zamis went when he was taken in.
Good grief!
And
There's so much more to this
yes,
thing than there was to
and
the movie.
get this. So in what he finds is that when Zamis was taken to the planet, Zamis was in so in favor of humans and could speak English and knew of human traditions
Felt more at
that
home. Yeah.
they took him away to essentially like a mental hospital, and they kind of
The
tried
sanitarium.
yeah, sanitarium, and they tried to deprogram the human out of Zamis. And they
Wow.
never even told Jariba's family, or I guess for lack of like Zamis's family, that he was on the planet. So Davidge goes, finds him, and they have this moment where Zamis is kind of like he's not there. He's been whatever process they've done. He's a shell of who he was, and the thing that brings him back is the counting of the fingers. He says, "Zamis, Zamis,
Whoa.
do you remember 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?" And that's what brings Zamis back. He hits him with an uncle, and then they are able to reunite. And even in the story, the name Will Davidge is added to the lineage of the Draconian Jariba family. So the son of Zamis is named I can't remember the first name, but like first name Will Davidge. So now there's a sixth name in Draconian tradition in this family. And
Man,
like,
I don't know if I'm glad. I think I'm glad the movie cut it. Where would it? I don't know if I.
You'd have hung on for that?
No, I followed where he's going with it. I'm just going. I don't. Isaac Asimov was all over the place. Some stuff I think is really awesome, and some stuff I can't comprehend. This might just, I like that the themes that we saw were like, oh, there was good stuff: war, race, humanity, apologizing. I loved that moment when they apologized to each other. The friendships that were formed, like those were the themes that I aligned with. Because otherwise, it was, although you know what, it felt a little bit like some of the movies they used to make about Vietnam, like Platoon or Casualties of War, or some of those where we're in the foxhole with these guys. There's one from each side. They're both obviously going to start. Like they both start. Yes.
Yeah. And
It's very obvious thematically, and at the end that Davidge is going to go to the planet. You just know that he's going to be there at the end to do it. And it's not that that; it's how they get there, and how they got there. Right. I thought was, again, much to Petersen's credit, hanging on the relationship, hanging on the base humanity of this alien. Honestly, was really kind of very attractive to me.
Yeah. I'll watch Louis Gossett in anything. Even
me too. Here's another thing, which is why I said it's interesting you have me on tonight. I did an episode of Deep Space Nine called Rocks and Shoals. Now, in the Star Trek universe, there are beings called Jem'Hadars. I played a Jem'Hadar. And then, of course, there are humans, and the Federation is populated with humans. So in this episode, the Federation, led by Avery Brooks, Cisco, lands on a planet and crash lands on a planet, and so do the Jem'Hadar. We both crash land on this planet, and we are mortal enemies. We are bound to kill each other. It's just the way it's going to be. And that's kind of how this. I was like, that's the exact interesting. Same thing. Yeah, and so I was particularly interested in how they were going to proceed with this, because in our episode, which is just an episode, the Jem'Hadar do die because we cannot not be enemies. It's just the way it is. So for them to reconcile in this movie, I found to be refreshing.
That's a very nice version of that. Um, my reference for Enemy Mine was always a very old Lonely Island sketch. Lonely Island went on to work on SNL and make all the digital shorts.
Andy Samberg and the
Andy
boys.
Samberg, Jorma Taccone, Akiva Schaffer, and before they were on SNL, they made YouTube videos, and they had a pilot, I believe at Fox, ironically, called Awesome Town, which was filmed video sketches. And one of the sketches in this pilot, which you can watch online, it's still on their YouTube channel, is like an Enemy Mine inspired, where it's a human and an alien crash land on a planet alone. Andy Samberg plays the alien, and essentially the whole sketch is he comes in and he's like, "Hey, we're the only people on this planet. Just you and I. I just want to let you know that I have both male and female genitalia," and that is like the basis of the whole sketch. And that he keeps coming back like every single year, trying to like sleep with the human and just entice him.
It's pretty funny.
That was my
It's such
only...
an obscure movie though to make
I
like
know.
a whole video about.
I know.
Yeah.
And that was my only sort of frame of reference. That was all I
Wow.
knew. It was like an Enemy Mine type thing.
That VHS was in somebody's parents' basement,
Yes.
and they watched it over and over again, and it just stuck with them.
Years later, they recycled it, and they actually did it on SNL with Jack Black. Andy still played the alien, but Jack Black played the human being.
I need to see it.
I don't think you can find that version online, but you can find the original Lonely Island sketch.
Hilarious. Well, go ahead, bro.
Oh no! Quick Jack Black story. Nicole used to work with him, but got fired for laughing too loud.
Oh man.
Shut it up.
She had nothing but nice things to say about him, by the way. I don't think it was really that, but that's the story she told because it was funnier.
Hilarious. Well, the young Drac, Zom, what was his name again? I'm sorry.
Zamis.
Zamis was played by an actor named Bumper Robinson.
Okay.
I looked that up.
Bumper Robinson was in the Jackson TV movie, and I think he played Michael.
Oh wow. That kid was good.
Yeah, he ended up being a really fine actor. I knew him through our agency, CESD, voiceover wise, and just a good actor. But Bumper Robinson was that actor, and I thought he was really good.
Yeah, especially through all of that makeup on a child. Like that's very good.
You're both
Pretty
making
incredible.
good points, but to me, again, because I watched this movie for Louis Gossett Jr., it was hard to have anybody follow him, and I thought the kid did a really freaking good job following one of the best actors of that time, in my opinion.
I totally agree.
So, like, not only was he good, he was really good considering he was just up against the mirror was somebody excellent.
Yeah. Any other thoughts? Any other notes that you have written down, Jay?
What's your favorite Louis Gossett movie that's not this one? Because mine's pretty obscure.
You know, I don't really know him from much. I really only knew him from Jaws 3D, to be honest.
Okay.
I guess I need to expand my Louis Gossett Jr.
Officer and a Gentleman. That's what he won the Academy Award
Oh,
for.
that's probably that's huge. That's a big one.
There's a couple. I know a lot of them.
Please share some more.
I would think Iron
recommendations.
Eagle. I'm thinking most people might think Iron Eagle
Eagle's
because it was such a commercial
fantastic.
success. But for me personally, the movie that was not a commercial success, I love this movie with a passion. I have no idea why it's not great. It's called Firewalker, and it's Chuck Norris and Louis Gossett Jr. And Melody, I can't remember her last name, Melody something. I love this movie so much. It's like they're kind of treasure hunters. It's a little bit Indiana Jonesy, but they're also kind of grifters a little bit. It's really, really, really fun. John Rhys Davies is in it. It's just a really fun ride. We should check. It would be amazing if it was 1985, although I doubt it. But Brandon, it's the kind of movie that you would love.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
definitely
perfect
will check
80s
those all
movie.
out.
And you'll
did a
see why
movie,
I love Louis Gossett Jr. He's funny, he's likable, he's talented. Like
He's a genius.
I will
really
say
is a genius.
he's very charismatic in Jaws 3D.
Yes.
He plays like the
the billionaire
he-
guy.
Yeah, and he's got those nice suits. He's He's very good in Jaws 3D.
If you've seen Deep Blue Sea, it's the Sam Jackson character. They kind of repeat
Well,
the same deal.
shut up, man. I was just going to say he was the 80s version of Sam Jackson.
Yeah.
With a little bit more polish, you know?
Yeah.
He did a very controversial movie called The Skin Game with James Garner.
Okay.
And why it was so controversial was because basically the setup was during slavery, there was James Garner who played this slave buyer. And what he would do is go, and Louis Gossett Jr. was his cohort, and they would run the tally up, and he'd sell Lou Gossett Jr. to the highest bidder. And then he'd come and he'd break him out. And then they'd go to the next market, slave market, and do the same thing. Well,
So they were both in on it, obviously.
yeah, it was a con game. They were on a con game, the skin game, right?
Wow,
And
that actually sounds fun.
yeah, but at the time it was very dicey because a lot of my community were like, "What the hell you doing, man?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, you're
Right.
playing a slave. You making a thing? What?" It was almost, it was almost like Hogan's Heroes, doing a concentration camp,
Whoa.
and there are a lot of people who were not down with that.
Yeah.
So, and this is a Louis Gossett Jr. story. He came to my father's house. My dad's Greg Morris from the original Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
And they sat at my dad's bar. And Lou was very upset because he thought this was his breakout. And the community came out hard against him. And my dad put his hands on his shoulders and said, "My friend, you are a brilliant actor. This is just one blip. Just watch." And I think the next thing was Roots.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, wow.
and he just blew up from, well, everybody did from that. But
Yeah.
listen, Lou Gossett Jr. was in my house many times. I played pool with him many, many
Yeah.
times.
I believe he just passed away last year, right?
He did.
Yeah.
He did. And Jay, you're right. He was a genius.
Yeah, it's funny, our friendship is our friendship, and I continually forget what your childhood upbringing was like.
It's pretty special.
And what the revolving door of your home must have been like, and what that pool table must have been like all the time with your dad's friends and colleagues.
Really beautiful. So, hey, I love this, you guys. This was awesome. If you'd have me back, I'd love to come back.
100%.
Yeah, we'll do a more fun movie next time. I mean, this wasn't not fun, but
I got a lot out of it. It was good for me. As I said.
Yeah. The only thing I wanted to ask about is, what did you guys think about the score?
I don't even know if I noticed it.
Agreed.
Okay, I thought it was
Excuse me.
near the end of the film. It kind of seemed to go away, but I didn't really like it at the beginning. It was like really jarring, and it didn't seem to work for me. Because
I didn't like the movie enough to go back and double check what you're talking about, but it didn't stick out at me at the time.
Okay, maybe it was just me then. If both of you didn't clock anything, I just wanted to ask.
I was taking this thing in visually. I was excited to try something new.
But now that you mentioned it, it seemed like it was 80s television music.
Boom!
as
It felt like
opposed
V.
to- Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit like dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Yes.
A little bit. So
Yeah. I think for
That's
me,
it.
maybe
70s
it
television.
just, yeah, and it maybe it felt like kind of like to me. Ironically, you guys didn't really notice it, but it felt like really in my face, like it was like doing too much at times. But
I felt the whole movie was.
my last note here, and this is just strictly, there was a couple of shots where Dennis Quaid was smiling, and I've never noticed before, he has a very big smile and his cheeks wrinkle. And I was wondering, like, do you think he was considered to play the Joker in '89 Tim Burton Batman? Do you think he was in the conversation?
hilarious.
Because
I doubt it.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
doubt
know,
it too.
he
I think
just-
that part was written once they knew they had Jack.
There's no doubt about it.
He just-
that's
I
a
will
very
say
Dennis
this though,
Quaid.
he's
That's
got
Dennis
the
Quaid's
Lewis.
smile.
Oh, go ahead.
That's the Dennis Quaid smile, man. That's like trademark.
That's
That
it.
little smirky smirk thing.
Yes.
I've
He did it.
never noticed how big his cheeks go before.
Watch Breaking Away with
Oh,
Dennis Christopher and all that.
Love it.
It's a quintessential Dennis Quaid movie. It really is phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, for me, The Day After Tomorrow was
Hmm.
kind of the movie that I knew him from, and then years later, my wife really liked The Rookie. Um,
Really good.
so yeah, I don't know if I would consider myself like the biggest Dennis Quaid fan, although I should shout out his performance in The Substance. Did either of you guys see The Substance?
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
oh yeah, he is something else in The Substance.
and he's
Uh,
great in the right stuff.
the right
He
Oh
stuff is
yes,
huge.
plays
Yeah.
an amazing Gordy. Who's the best pilot you ever saw? Hey,
yeah.
dude, come on.
So I think Brandon, it sounds like there's a lot of the movies that I think of him, like his famous movies that you haven't seen yet. It sounds like maybe.
Yeah, probably not. Those are just the ones that I think of off the top of my head.
Phil there had the Louis Gossett Jr. I have hung out with Dennis Quaid, I don't know, over 50 times in my life because he's a musician. And I think I
Yeah.
told you that my friend used to own a barn in San Francisco, in Santa Monica, that I
Yeah.
used to help him manage and help do the production of and stuff. And
Yeah.
Dennis Quaid has a band that plays around LA all the time. And this is one of the bars he would play at. And he would also come in all the time when he just was listening to music. And I literally don't know how many times I've hung out with him, but he always has the face that you're talking about on because he's always having a grand old time.
Yeah.
He's Dennis
And-
Quaid.
Yeah, and he plays and it's a really fun show. If you ever see him playing out in Los Angeles, go see him. He plays barefoot, plays guitar barefoot, harmonica, plays a harmonica. Really fun. That's all I got on Dennis Quaid.
Yeah. Oh, Inner Space.
But the smile, he's got the smile all
Inner
the time.
Space.
Inner Space. How can I forget Inner Space?
Yeah.
That's one of
iconic.
Nicole's top 10 as well.
Yeah. That one I'm much
Genius
more focused
movie.
on Martin Short. As a Canadian, that's another must love hero of ours up in Canada.
Love Martin.
Yeah.
I'm glad you've seen that one though. That's one of his big
Oh
ones.
yeah.
And is that where
Um,
he met Meg Ryan? Because they were together for a bit.
Yeah, maybe.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think we've covered the movie. Do we want to do some ratings?
Sure. Yeah. I didn't prep Phil for this. You want to tell him
Okay.
what's up?
Sure.
idea.
So we've been rating these movies out of 5 stars, and part of that is because have you heard of the app Letterboxd? Maybe you've seen some interviews, people talking about.
No.
Yeah. So it's an app and they use a 5-star rating. So I like to log it on there. So that's why we do the 5 stars. So
Okay.
yeah, Jay, do you want to go first?
Well, no, because it's going to sound. Yeah, I should go first because it's going to sound cruel. I'm giving it. Oh gosh, this is terrible. I honestly, I'm going to give it 2 stars because of my enjoyment. I didn't love it. I didn't think it was done particularly well. I am with Phil in that I think the performances were the strongest part of it, which is why it gets 2 stars. Listening to you guys say so many positive things, I felt like I wanted to give it 3, but this time I'm sticking to my guns of what I wrote on the paper, which was 2.
Yeah.
It's a big swing. This was a big swing. Putting Louis Gossett Jr. in that kind of makeup is a big swing.
Yeah.
And then choosing to take a role where you have to play opposite that is a big swing. So I think everybody, acting wise, did a great job, and they're who earned the 2 stars.
Yeah.
The
2
rest
stars
was
get
pretty
the 2
much a
stars.
fail for me
Exactly.
across
That's
the board.
exactly what I was going to say, Phil.
Yeah.
Do you want to go next?
Sure. Oh, yeah, I don't know the format, but I got my number in hand. It's a
Yeah.
3. It's a 3 because I was surprised by how much I did like it, and especially in the beginning, I was like, "Oh, well, this production value could take me out." But because of Jay's 2 stars, it brought me right back in, and the themes actually swung with me. I love the themes of, even though it wasn't in the novella, I love the slavery theme, and that it did seem like it was a comment on racial disparity, gender disparity in a way, and maybe I'm reading into that, or perhaps it really actually was there.
Yeah.
And I appreciate them tackling that at the time. I appreciate their attempt at revealing it to us as an audience and tucking it under.
Yeah.
So all of that made a lot of sense to me. It didn't beat me up.
That's great.
I love the way you said that. You're right.
I'm right there with you, Phil, because I also gave it 3 stars on Letterboxd.
Hmm.
And part of that was because the exact same thing. At the beginning, I was like, "Oh boy, is this hokey? Like, is it not gonna be as exciting as I wanted it to be?" Because, uh, like we said, all three of us hadn't seen it before, but I've seen this poster so many times. I've looked at the cover of my tape. I love this logo.
Hmm.
There's just so many things. So I came in with maybe a little bit more of a heightened expectation, but you're right. Like it was the story. Like it actually, it really stuck with me. And maybe in reading the novella, it kind of allowed it to like just kind of stick to me more. But
Mm.
I was thinking about it a lot and thinking about all those themes. And honestly, I just really liked the buddy story.
Same here.
So
Same here.
If
yeah,
it was a
so
movie that was all that, I would agree with you. There wasn't enough of that for me.
it is fast. I will
I
say
loved where that was going. I
yes.
loved how their bond was just strengthening and strengthening. How even when they fought, when they were trying to get in the thing, and
Yeah.
then they overcame the fight. I loved it all. I was so bummed to see him
Yeah.
die.
No, I and you know what? I love that. I love it's weird that like this has kind of become one of my favorite parts of the show. I thought it would be like talking about the movie or doing the research, but I really like post conversation boiling down the thoughts to like a 5 star system. Like it is kind of it is cool, and I do like that people come from different places with their thoughts on the film.
There was a line
That's
somewhere that I
that's
just thought
movies,
was
baby.
funny.
Exactly. Okay, the very last thing that I like to do here, Phil, is this app, Letterboxd. It's a fantastic app. It's I talk about it every single show. Yeah, go ahead, Jay. You got something?
I just wrote down the
Okay,
funniest
go ahead.
line in the movie for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Was he goes, I'm gonna put a knife up your kazoo if you've got one. I don't know why. As I'm sitting here watching it alone, and I laughed out loud at that line. I'm gonna put a knife up your kazoo if you've got one. Oh my god, so good.
In actually in the novella, the other thing that they make a point of, because there's the scene in the movie where he can't feed baby Zamis. In the novella, they explain that he learns after the fact that a baby Drac doesn't need to eat and has like all of its nutrition from
Oh
its
wow.
parent for the first 7 weeks until it reaches a certain age where its brain can process I need to eat. It just
That's very efficient. Renee says Parent
Oh,
Trap as well.
Parent Trap, of course. I always forget Dennis Quaid's in Parent Trap.
And
Iconic
sadly,
Lindsay
Firewalker
Lohan.
was 86, unfortunately.
Oh, next season.
But you'll still enjoy it, Brandon.
I will definitely look into it.
All right.
So yeah, the last thing I like to do here on this app, Letterboxd, people rate movies. They can follow each other on there. You can comment on people's ratings. But one of the things on there is people write their own reviews, and I love reading the reviews on Letterboxd because sometimes people are so snarky, they're so funny, and it's like such a niche sort of little like zone of comedy that is you have to have seen the movie and be participating in this Letterboxd app to experience it. So I want to share some of the reviews that of
They're
Enemy
usually
Mine.
they're usually pretty funny, the ones he picks out.
Okay, so this is King Joy says, "Oh sure, the humans solve speciesism in the movie written and directed by humans. 2.5 stars."
Oh, I meant to ask you this question too. Are we allowed to half stars?
Of course.
That's new to me. Okay. Can I change mine to 2.5 stars?
Of course.
Ooh, Jay, look at you growing and
Well,
looking and
I meant
learning.
to ask that question in the beginning because it would have changed my answer. But okay, so 2.5 stars.
Yeah, that's fair. And hey, I'll let you, because you're the co-host of the show, if you want to go back and change any of your other ratings.
I've actually already thought about that. I stand by the other 4 shows.
Okay,
We're
good.
good.
Then moving forward, half stars. And you're good with yours, Phil?
Totally.
Okay. So this one is simple. I actually can't pronounce the name JDRNFRM, but it's just Junior in Space. Speaking of
The
Arnold
Arnold
Schwarzenegger,
Schwarzenegger movie.
yeah, Junior in Space. Lindsay says, "Why didn't anyone tell me Enemy Mine was one of the great love stories of the 1980s? 4 stars and a heart." Amy says, "I hope someday someone is as happy as me as Will is for his friend's unexpected pregnancy." 2.5 stars.
That's excellent.
This one is Imaginary Alex. "Enemies to gay dads is my favorite romantic trope." 3 stars.
Oh my God.
And then this is the last one here from Licky Bull 7.
Incredible source.
"Man's best friend is actually a self-reproducing lizard, in case you were wondering." 3.5 stars.
It's funny. It seems like the snarkier responses do have a higher rating. Like they do like the movie.
Yeah, and yeah, I do pick ones that I think are funny. There is tons of like real reviews that people write on there, but that's not the fun that I have when I'm scrolling the Letterboxd reviews. Sometimes they make me laugh out loud. Sometimes somebody will point something out in a movie that is like so tiny and so nuanced that I'm like, oh my, that's the funniest thing that it exists. Like somebody else noticed this or somebody else pointed this out. It's an incredible, super fun app. So if anybody out there watching doesn't have Letterboxd and is into movies,
they should
join
sponsor us. Letterboxd, if you've got some extra marketing cash.
Exactly.
This is the show for you.
Send it our way. I'm a diehard. You can follow me, Brandon Mindell, on Letterboxd.
Awesome. Did we do the thing?
I think that's it. I think we've covered everything. We got through the plot.
Phil will come back another time, so we don't have to wear him out this time. Otherwise, I would talk to him forever and ever and ever.
I quickly would like to just do the box office real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
And, so Enemy Mine opened December 18th, 1985. It opened number 9 at the box office.
That's not a Christmas movie. That's a tough opening.
Yeah.
They were
number
burying
9,
that sucker.
only made $1.6 million its opening weekend.
Oh my God.
It was only in theaters for 10 weeks and made a total of $12.3 million. The top 5 movies of that week were Rocky IV.
Oh, that's tough.
Jewel of the Nile.
That was a big
Spies
one.
Like Us.
Big one.
Out of Africa.
Big one.
Then, as we talked about at number 5, Santa Claus the movie.
Oh, Geno's. Wow, that's huge.
Yeah. So
that's a tough competition for any movie, let alone this one.
For sure. And like we alluded to, we talked a little bit about at the beginning, like this is a hard film to market. But I'm so glad that I've seen it now. It may not be a great undiscovered gem that I will watch time and time and time again, but I'm very happy to.
I don't want my time back. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, no,
exactly.
It hit the bells and whistles for me. I mean, it did what it needed to do.
Probably won't watch it
honestly,
again.
No, but I got it, and I appreciated it.
Well, if you're so inclined, you can read the novella. It's only 90 pages.
Oh, perfect.
Might do. Never know.
Awesome. Well, this has been great. Phil, thank you so much for doing this with us. How do people follow you?
Awesome, dude. I dig it. At the Phil Morris is everywhere, wherever I live, social media world. At the Phil Morris.
I said it in one of our story posts. Like people check out Phil's IMDb. The amount of voice work and shows that you have worked on will make people's heads spin. It's incredible. What you've lent your voice to over the years. It's amazing. So
you think you know his face.
Yes.
Wait till you hear his voice.
Yes.
I'm saying.
We didn't even talk about the Atlantis movies. Those iconic for me growing up. Speaking of Michael J. Fox, we brought him up earlier.
My guy.
Yeah.
No,
So check
I've had a good
Phil.
run.
Yeah, on Instagram. and check out some of his other work. It's an honor to get to meet you and talk
Pleasure,
to you.
my
And
friend. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. This was a lot of fun.
This was great for us too. Jay, where can people find you?
First of all, Phil, I love you. I love you're my brother. I love
you too, brother.
I'm at Porsche Life 111 or here in the Late Night Playset. You can find me. But Brandon, also, I want to throw a plug to our show next week and see if you would maybe also be a guest with us next week, because our in-person guest on Late Night Playset is Simon Wells. He also directed a bunch of animated stuff. He also directed The Time Machine. His great-grandfather is H.G. Wells, yada, yada, yada. I would love for you to be what you did with Phil tonight, be that with Simon.
Oh, for sure. I'll be there. And then
there's a plug for our Tuesday show on Late Night Playset as well.
So I'll be on Late Night Playset Tuesday, and then Wednesday, barring air travel, I should be in studio in person to do our show next Wednesday, where we will be covering the film Lost in America, written and directed by Albert Brooks, one of my absolute favorite people on the face of the earth.
Love the movie.
So good. So good.
I am so excited to talk about Albert Brooks and this movie next week. And we may have a guest next week. We're still working things out, but like I said, as long as everything goes right,
you can say it. We're probably going to have a guest next week.
Sure. Wait, say who it is, or
sure.
Just okay.
I'm confident.
We're putting it out there. Justin Scard from Random Land is hopefully going to be our guest next week. Again, barring everything, he's traveling himself. So as long as everything travel-wise works out, we're going to be all in studio talking about Albert Brooks and Lost in America next week.
How do we follow you, Brandon? BC DeLorean?
Oh, yes. Yes, you can follow me at BC DeLorean across all social media. And please give a Blockbuster Year on Instagram and Facebook a follow. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We do this every Wednesday night. Usually at 6 o'clock. Tonight was a little bit later, but
Thank you to everybody who joined Facebook this week. We went from like 12 followers to like 120 something in like a day or two. So thank you so much for that. Please keep it up.
Yeah. And thank you everybody for being here live. Thank you for everybody for watching on the replay, for listening to the audio podcast. This is a joy, and we end every episode by saying how much we love doing this show with each other and how much fun it is. And thank you again, Phil, for being here. It's an honor.
Thank you. My pleasure, guys.
Love you, Brand. Love you, Fielton. Love you at home. See you later.
Bye.
Look back for you.